I was wondering where the nickname the Count originated from. We came up with a figure that we called Count Tool Rider, Count Cool Rider, CC Rider, and that is where the term the Count sprang from. In his role as the proprietor of Count's Kustoms, a restoration company for automobiles and motorcycles situated in Las Vegas, he rose to prominence as a result of the popular television show Counting Cars. It was after Danny Koker's appearances on Pawn Stars and the following debut of his own Smash program in 2012 that he became a household celebrity. He is famous for his characteristic bandana, his love for rock and roll, and his extraordinary talent for designing jaw-dropping bespoke vehicles. In 2021, his show abruptly came to a stop. However, Danny's trip has not been devoid of difficulties, despite the fact that he has been driving dazzling automobiles with roaring motors. The world of Count's Kustoms has not always been a pleasant sailing experience. There have been legal disputes involving his crew, reports of financial difficulties, and conflict inside his organization. Danny Koker's entry into the world of custom cars did not begin with his being famous on television. To begin, there was a lifetime interest in automobiles and everything related to them. He was raised in a household of musicians and gearheads, and as a result, he developed a passion for vintage automobiles and motorcycles that were customized. In point of fact, Danny disclosed the following statement during an interview with Roadkill Customs. "I've been a car guy for as long as I can remember. I is unable to even conceive of a time in my life when automobiles or motorcycles have not been a part of my existence." During his formative years, he worked on restorations that were carried out solely for his own personal enjoyment. On the other hand, Danny established Count's Kustoms in Las Vegas in the late 1990s, turning his hobby into a business. In lieu of relying on showy advertising, he established a reputation in the community for doing high-quality work and having an in-depth knowledge of antique automobiles. It didn't take long for word to spread, and the close-knit world of vehicle collectors took notice of his extraordinary ability to combine traditional automobile design with daring customization. Counting Cars was not the source of Danny's big break in the entertainment industry. Instead, he began his journey to fame by making guest appearances on Pawn Stars. On that show, his knowledge as the guy who knows everything about cars and motorcycles brought a new depth to the show. His potential was recognized by the producers, who immediately came to the conclusion that Danny's larger-than-life demeanor and talent might be the basis for his very own spin-off series. As a result, Counting Cars was established in 2012, with the purpose of serving as a portfolio not only for Danny's automobiles, but also for the day-to-day operations of Count's Kustoms. With its one-of-a-kind combination of behind-the-scenes restoration projects, personal stories from Danny's crew, and the occasional dose of drama, the show rapidly became a hit, drawing viewers in with its unusual combination of different elements. However, the changes in bright vehicles were not the only things that set Counting Cars unique from other games. It provided an unedited view of Danny's creative process and the enthusiasm he has for his work. Not many viewers were aware of the fact that Danny's primary concern was not solely financial gain. One of the things that he discussed in an interview with the Las Vegas Sun was the fact that he frequently undercharged customers or took on tasks just because he was passionate about the automobile. "It's not only that I'm here to make quick cash. I really enjoy doing this. I won't even get close to an automobile if I don't feel a strong emotional connection to it. This must have some significance." It's possible that this strategy garnered respect among those who are passionate about automobiles, but it also gave a hint about some of the difficulties that would later become apparent in the corporate world. When Counting Cars began to take off, Count's Kustoms had already established itself as a global brand, making it more than simply a local name. Danny's life and business became further scrutinized by the public as a result of the exposure, which ultimately resulted in deeper difficulties for both the shop and Danny himself. Despite the fact that the exposure brought in a huge number of new customers and attention, it also made Danny's life and business more open to scrutiny. As the popularity of Counting Cars increased, the public spotlight that was placed on Count's Kustoms revealed fissures that were hidden beneath the surface. Joseph Frontier, a former employee of the corporation, became the front-runner in a court dispute in 2015 when the company accused him of stealing money from the company. Frontier had reportedly used business funds for personal expenses, such as payments on a Range Rover and purchases of airline tickets. according to public records that were obtained by TMZ. According to the allegations made in the lawsuit, the organization suffered a major setback as a result of the financial malfeasance, which amounted to more than tens of thousands of dollars. There were problems with the internal oversight at Kustoms, which were brought to light by the case, despite the fact that Danny Koker himself was not directly involved. In the context of a store that was responsible for managing high-value repairs and balancing the demands of a global audience, the incident prompted questions about how such a squandering of funds had gone unreported for such a significant amount of time. Additionally, there were mounting rumors concerning issues with some customers and delayed payments to suppliers, in addition to the lawsuit that Frontier was bringing against them. Allegations such as these, which were covered by publications such as the Las Vegas Review-Journal, portrayed a picture of a company that was having difficulty coping with the demands of reality television while simultaneously experiencing fast development. Despite the fact that Danny kept his public comments on these disputes to a minimum, the court battles added a new layer of scrutiny to Kustoms. This made it very evident that operating a business while being in the spotlight of fame came with its own unique set of challenges. As the number of people watching counting cars continued to rise, the pressure of maintaining a constant television production began to have an impact on both the show and the operations of the shop. Despite the fact that viewers were impressed by the imaginative constructions and one-of-a-kind restorations that were displayed on screen, some of them started to question the veracity of what they were viewing. Some viewers pointed out inconsistencies between the show's timelines and the complexity of the projects that were covered, which led to allegations of staging and manufactured scenes being brought to light. Certain builds appeared to be rushed or incomplete when compared to the prior work that Kustoms had done, which was a recurrent critique that was also mentioned in conversations that took place among automobile enthusiasts on online forums such as carcomplaints.com. As a result of these criticisms, questions were raised over the fact that the business was being forced to make concessions that would not have been possible under normal circumstances because of the obligations of producing weekly episodes for a popular show. During this time period, tensions inside the team eventually became more visible to the public. The absence of major personnel, which was not addressed, was observed by fans, which led to the spread of allegations that longtime members of the team were leaving owing to disagreements that occurred behind the scenes. Particularly noteworthy is the case of Scott Jones, who, prior to his unexpected disappearance, was responsible for a significant portion of the show's business administration throughout its earlier seasons. Fans hypothesized that internal difficulties and the mounting demands brought on by the shop might have played a factor in his resignation, despite the fact that no official explanation was ever provided for his departure. Danny, on the other hand, insisted that the central focus of counting cars would continue to be on the workmanship of the automobiles and the stories that accompanied them. Within the context of an interview with the Las Vegas Sun, Danny discussed the difficulties he faces in maintaining his passion while simultaneously juggling the demands of a television show. Although it is not simple, I will always prioritize the safety of the automobiles. I don't consider this to be only a show. Yes, it is my life. In spite of this, the criticism and the modifications that were made within the shop were not ignored. Counting Cars viewers have reported that the escalating demands of celebrity and television production have made them feel as though the genuineness and passion that initially drew them to the show have been diminished. The problem that Danny Koker faced was unequivocal. He needed to find a way to preserve the trust of both his audience and his clients while simultaneously navigating the turbulent world of television production. Danny Koker continues to be active both on and off the screen, despite the fact that Counting Cars and Kustoms have been the subject of numerous disputes and controversies over the course of their respective series runs. Despite the fact that the shop continues to be the focal point of his brand, Danny has expanded his interests by diverting his energy into side initiatives such as music and entertainment industry endeavors. The fact that he owns Vamp'd Rock Bar and Grill in Las Vegas is one of the most significant entrepreneurial endeavors that he has undertaken outside of Kustoms. His profound affection for vintage rock is reflected in the venue, which hosts live performances by bands from both the local and national communities. Danny is able to merge his two lifetime hobbies, music and community, thanks to this location, which is a relationship that he constantly discusses in interviews. In addition to his work with Vamp'd, Danny continues to perform with his band Count 77, which has published a number of CDs and has had a significant amount of touring experience. His work in music, despite the fact that it has never been as prominent as his persona on television, offers him an escape from the demands that are involved with his worldwide renown and serves as a creative outlet outside of the garage. When it comes to Count's Kustoms, the shop is still in existence and continues to undertake high-profile restoration and customization projects. Nevertheless, the company has maintained a lower public profile during the past few years, maybe with the intention of concentrating on preserving its reputation in the face of the growing critiques that were described before. It has been reported by customers that the company now places a high priority on transparency and realistic deadlines, which suggests that the shop may have drawn some lessons from its previous mistakes. It is interesting to note that Danny and his business endeavors continue to be the subject of speculations regarding financial hardship, despite the fact that no tangible evidence has recently surfaced to offer support for these assertions. Danny, on the other hand, continues to concentrate on his profession, highlighting in interviews with the Las Vegas Review-Journal that his passion for restoring automobiles has never waned. In spite of the ups and downs that come with celebrity, Danny Koker has been able to remain successful, thanks to his capacity for adaptation. Having said that, the fact that the limelight has been slightly diminished over the course of the past few years raises the question of whether Danny will continue to concentrate on Count's Kustoms or whether he will continue to spread his abilities over other endeavors. For the time being, it seems that Danny is pleased with maintaining his position as one of the most famous automotive personalities on reality television, while also establishing a balance between his artistic outlets and running his store.